You're watching Mirror 7 News. Stay informed, stay ahead for more news.
So the Washington Commanders just wrapped up their first preseason game of the year, and unfortunately, it wasn't the kind of night their fans were hoping for. They took a pretty tough loss against the New England Patriots, going down 48-18. But there's a lot more to the story than just the final score, so let me walk you through some of the key points from the game. First off, head coach Dan Quinn was visibly frustrated after the game. It wasn't just the big loss that bothered him, but the way the team played. He described it as sloppy. The Commanders racked up 15 penalties, which is more than double what they averaged last season. These penalties gave the Patriots almost 100 free yards, which is huge. Mistakes came from all parts of the team: offense, defense, and special teams. For example, there was a defensive face mask penalty that wiped out a big run from Trevion Henderson, and a holding penalty that nullified a solid 16-yard catch by rookie Ja'Cory Bill Krosky-Merritt. There was even an illegal block that erased a good kickoff return by Kazmir Allen. Coach Quinn admitted that some of these mistakes came from the players over-trying, and others were due to lack of focus, which he said really drives him up the wall. The team has about 10 days before their next game, and Quinn is determined to clean this up. Speaking of Bill Krosky-Merritt, he might not have had the flashiest stats on the board, just 32 yards on 8 touches, but how he got those yards really stood out. He showed some impressive vision and toughness, making quick decisions and breaking tackles. One of his best plays, a 16-yard reception, was taken away by a penalty, but it gave a glimpse of what he's capable of. Unfortunately, his night ended early due to a shoulder injury, but he's shown enough to be a serious contender for a roster spot. Special teams, which the Commanders usually pride themselves on, had a rough night too. The kickoff coverage allowed almost 200 yards on just 3 returns, including a 100-yard touchdown by Henderson right at the start. There were also issues with the field goal unit, as Matt Gay missed a 49-yard attempt after a big defensive play had given the offense good field position. Quinn called the special teams performance a gut punch and said it was confusing because it's not something the team expected at all, especially since none of the starters were playing in this game. On a brighter note, Josh Connerly, an offensive lineman, showed some solid progress. He didn't allow any sacks over his 21 snaps and impressed with his run blocking, helping to create openings for runners like Krosky-Merritt. Quinn feels Connerly is improving steadily and is getting closer to earning a spot in the starting lineup. Now, it's important to remember this was just a preseason game. About a third of the Commanders' rosters, including some key starters like Jaden Daniels and Deebo Samuel, didn't play. The Patriots, meanwhile, had more of their starters on the field, making it a tough test. For Washington, this game served as a valuable learning experience, especially for the younger players who got a first-hand look at what happens when mistakes pile up. It's a wake-up call, but it shouldn't change anyone's expectations for the season. The team still has one of the best young quarterbacks in the league, and plenty of weapons and protection to work with. In the end, this game was part of a bigger process, evaluating the roster and figuring out who's ready to make the final cut. Mistakes were made, and there's work to do, but the Commanders have time to improve and show what they're really capable of this season. Stay subscribed for more videos.